A melted chocolate bar in a pocket, a cylinder that refuses to open, a mold forgotten by accident, a drug that doesn't work as it should. Sometimes revolutions don't come from a perfect plan. They come from a mistake, from an unexpected event, from a detail anyone else would have ignored. Hi everyone, and welcome to 10 Minute Story. Today I'm taking you on a journey through 7 inventions born by chance, objects we use every day without realizing that they were never meant to exist. Make yourselves comfortable, because some of these stories are truly incredible. 1. The microwave oven. Percy Spencer wasn't a chef. He was an engineer, one of those who spent World War II working on radar systems. His world was made of magnetrons, electromagnetic waves, and complicated calculation. One day, while testing an active magnetron, he feels something strange in his pocket. Warm. Very warm. He reaches inside and finds his chocolate bar completely melted. Now, Spencer wasn't the kind of person who ignored things. He had worked near magnetrons many times before, and nothing like this had ever happened. Why that day? To understand it, he runs an experiment. He takes some popcorn kernels and brings them close to the magnetron. They pop, literally. Then he tries with an egg. It explodes. At that point, it's clear. Those invisible waves can cook food. In 1947, the patent arrives. The first microwave oven was as big as a refrigerator and cost a fortune. But from that moment on, the path was set. Today, millions of people heat up dinner thanks to a chocolate bar that melted by accident. 2. Vulcanized rubber. Before the 1800s, natural rubber was almost useless. Sticky in summer, rigid in winter, unstable all the time. But Charles Goodyear refused to give up. He was obsessed with the idea of turning that temperamental substance into something useful. He spent days and nights experimenting, adding ingredients, changing temperatures, trying new mixtures, and failing. Always. Until one day, according to some versions, while handling a mix of rubber and sulfur, a piece slipped from his hands and fell onto a hot stove. Goodyear picks it up and freezes. The rubber is different. It's not sticky. It doesn't deform. It resists heat. Vulcanization was born. Goodyear immediately understands that this transformation could change everything. He studies it, perfects it, and patents it in 1844. And from that moment, rubber becomes one of the pillars of modern industry. Tires, gaskets, soles, belts, insulation. All thanks to a piece of rubber that fell onto a stove by accident. 3. Viagra. In the 1990s, in Pfizer's laboratories, a group of researchers was working on a drug for angina pectoris. The active ingredient was called sildenafil. The goal was simple: relax blood vessels and improve circulation. But the first clinical tests were disappointing. The drug didn't work as expected. But something curious happened. Many volunteers, a bit embarrassed, reported a rather noticeable side effect. Sildenafil didn't improve the heart, but it improved erections. At first, the researchers thought it was an isolated case. Then more volunteers arrived, and more, all with the same effect. At that point, it was impossible to ignore. The drug changed direction, changed purpose, changed history. In 1998, the official approval arrived. The chosen name, Viagra. From a failed medication to a global revolution in sexual medicine, all because of a side effect. If these stories are surprising you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It takes you a second, but it helps me a lot. Let's continue. 4. Teflon. April 6, 1938. Roy Plunkett isn't trying to change the world. He's simply testing new refrigerant gases for DuPont. One of those research tasks destined to end up in a dusty archive. In front of him is a steel cylinder that should be full of tetrafluoroethylene. Should be. Because when he opens the valve, nothing comes out. Strange. Very strange. Plunkett weighs the cylinder. It's still heavy. The gas is inside, somewhere. But why won't it come out? He decides to open it. A gesture that today would make any safety officer jump out of their chair. But back then, science was also this. curiosity, and a touch of recklessness. When he removes the cap, he finds something unexpected. The inside of the cylinder is coated with a white, waxy substance, smooth as ice. He scrapes it off, analyzes it, exposes it to heat, acids, solvents. Nothing. It doesn't react, doesn't melt, doesn't burn. It's practically indestructible. Plunkett realizes he's holding a completely new material, PTFE, which years later will be known as Teflon. At first, it doesn't end up in frying pans, but in a much less domestic place, the Manhattan Project. It's used to coat pipes and containers that must resist corrosive substances during the production of the first atomic bombs. Only later does someone realize its everyday potential. A material that nothing sticks to, perfect for cooking without burning everything. And so, a mistake, a defective cylinder, becomes one of the most versatile materials of the 20th century. 5. Post-it notes. Spencer Silver, a chemist at 3M, had a clear goal: create a super strong adhesive, one of those that hold together anything, even the impossible. The result? The exact opposite. His glue was extremely weak. It stuck and immediately came off. It held nothing. Technically, it was a failure, but Silver wasn't someone who gave up easily. He tried pitching it to colleagues, managers, anyone who might have an idea, but the answer was always the same. A glue that doesn't glue? What's it for? End of story. Or so it seemed. Years later, Arthur Fry, Silver's colleague, had a much simpler, much more human problem. The bookmarks in his hymn book kept falling out during choir practice. He needed something that stuck to the pages, without damaging them. Something light, temporary, repositionable. And suddenly, he remembered that useless glue. He tried it on a small piece of paper. It worked. It worked perfectly. From there came an idea that seemed small, almost trivial, a little sheet that sticks and unsticks without leaving traces. When Post-its hit the market, they weren't just a product. They were a new way of thinking, organizing, remembering, collaborating. A failure turned into a global icon. 6. X-rays, November 8, 1895. In the laboratory of the University of Würzburg, Wilhelm Röntgen is working with a cathode ray tube wrapped in black cardboard. A routine experiment, nothing revolutionary. The tube emits light, but the cardboard should block it completely. Should. Because while Röntgen adjusts the device, he notices something impossible. A fluorescent screen, resting nearby, lights up. How can it light up if there's no visible light? Röntgen turns everything off. The screen goes dark. He turns it back on. The screen lights up again. Something is passing through the cardboard, something that shouldn't exist. For days he works in secret, almost obsessed. He changes materials, distances, obstacles. The mysterious radiation always passes through. He calls it X, like the unknown in equations. Then he decides to run a bold test. He asks his wife, Anna Bertha, to place her hand in front of the tube. When he develops the plate, he is speechless. In front of him is an image never seen before. The bones of her hand, clear with her ring still on her finger. Anna Bertha, seeing it, exclaims, "I have seen my death!" The first X-ray in history was born, a discovery that would forever change medicine, diagnostics, and surgery, all thanks to a light that wasn't supposed to pass through. 7. Penicillin. Alexander Fleming wasn't a messy researcher. He was simply human. He returns from vacation and finds his laboratory in less than perfect condition. One of the bacterial culture plates has been contaminated by mold, a simple mistake, something to throw away without thinking. He's about to do it when he notices something strange. Around the mold, there's a perfectly clear halo. The bacteria aren't growing. It's as if the mold is producing a substance capable of killing them. Fleming doesn't throw it away. He observes it, isolates it, studies it. He discovers that the mold belongs to the genus Penicillium, and that the substance it produces is a powerful natural antibacterial. He calls it penicillin. At first, no one truly understands the importance of the discovery. It will take years, other researchers, and World War II to turn it into a usable drug. But when it finally reaches hospitals, penicillin changes everything. Infections once deadly become treatable. Wounds, pneumonia, sepsis, medicine enters a new era. A forgotten plate becomes the discovery that will save millions of lives. These stories remind us of something simple. Curiosity is one of the most powerful tools we have. Sometimes all it takes is a mistake, an unexpected event, a detail others would ignore. A melted chocolate bar, a forgotten mold, a cylinder that won't open. Small accidents that, in the right hands, become revolutions. But now, I'll stop here and pass the ball to you. Tell me in the comments which of these discoveries surprised you the most, or share your own experience born by chance. See you in the next story, here on 10 Minute Story.